if you are in private equity, oil trading, sovereign wealth, or high stakes investing here in Saudi Arabia, you better listen up because these 5 forces are about to reshape your entire industry. And if you don't understand them correctly, they could wipe out millions from your portfolio. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the series that teaches you how to speak English in high-level situations. Before we begin, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out the resources in the description box to make sure that you understand this video better. Let's begin. So these 5 forces, decarbonization, deglobalization, demographics, debt, and digitalization will reshape the global economy as we know it. So let's talk about how these will impact your industries. So let's start with the first factor, deglobalization. A few months ago, we heard about the term tariff being thrown around a lot. Since Donald Trump has assumed his presidency, he has been imposing stricter tariffs across the globe. This means that a lot of countries are depending on themselves internally as opposed to depending on foreign markets. How does this impact the Saudi Arabian economy? It's very simple. Less global trade means less oil demand. If production in the world's major markets, China and the United States, decreases, Saudi Arabia will have a smaller market to which it could sell. To make up for lost profits, they're going to have to increase prices, so shoppers will need to pay more for ordinary products like cars and iPhones. However, some might look at this as an advantage. This could mean that countries will start to depend more on themselves, and therefore things would be more stable. What do you think? Do you think deglobalization is a threat to the Saudi market? Leave a comment. Moving on to the second shift, decarbonization. The world is ditching fossil fuels fast, but Saudi Arabia's economy is very reliant on oil. So why is this a problem? In order for you to understand that, you need to understand how regulations are changing externally. A lot of countries are now levying taxes on any products that consume oil, which means that customers will buy less of these products. As a result, Saudi Arabia will not have as large of a market to sell oil. Therefore, like we've previously stated in the deglobalization point, they're going to have to raise prices so that they can make up for profits which have been lost. However, a lot of renewable energy is becoming a lot cheaper than oil. Thankfully, the Saudi government has been investing heavily in the renewable energy sector. It now has customers internally and worldwide. The third trend that is shaping the global economy is demographics. Demographics is simply studying the trend in population and how it affects us in our regular daily life aspects. How will this affect Saudi Arabia? Well, luckily for Saudi Arabia, this is considered an advantage. A lot of countries around the world, especially developed ones, are experiencing a shift in demographics. There are a lot more older people than younger people. This means that they have to spend a lot more on services and pensions for the elderly. The problem with these changes is that they are not gradual, they are sudden, they will hit, and the effects will be felt immediately. Now the question is, will job opportunities catch up with this population growth? Tell me what you think in the comments. Now for the fourth global trend that is shaping the economy, debt. Governments, companies, even you are probably drowning in debt. But when does borrowing go from a smart strategy to financial suicide? Let's examine it. So the total world debt is $324 trillion. So who is this debt owed to? Governments owe this debt to other governments sometimes, and sometimes it is you who owes it. When your government raises taxes or raises prices of a certain product, that could be a way of offsetting the debt. Another way that countries pay for debt is inflation. The country just starts printing currency, and as a result, the value decreases. The problem with that is that interest rates rise and people start losing their jobs. Thankfully, as a result of Saudi Arabia diversifying its investments, it has this all under control. It has many interest rate policies in place to make sure that another 2008 does not happen. Read up on that if you would like. It was not fun. The last trend we will be discussing in this video is digitalization. Digitalization is the process of turning everything that was previously on paper into PDF formats, and more digital documents. Do you think this is a good thing or a bad thing? And why? Leave your answers in the comments. I think one thing we can agree on regarding digitalization is that there are advantages and there are disadvantages. The advantages is that things are becoming a lot more seamless and convenient, such as the widespread availability of AI and public services being easily accessible. You can work anywhere and learn anything wherever you like, whenever you like, and however you like. The disadvantages might be that a lot of jobs are being lost, and that your privacy might not be as safe. You are very vulnerable as a result of a lot of cyber attacks and hacks. So what do you think about digitalization? Do you think it is a utopia or a dystopia? And explain. And that is it for today's video. If you did like it, please leave a like and subscribe, and please do not forget to check out the resources in the description box below. They make learning a lot easier for you. Follow my Instagram and TikTok as well if you'd like for more similar bite-sized content. Take care and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.